Okay, so good morning, all of you. Welcome on behalf of Parul University. So today we have arranged an industrial webinar regarding the industrial health and safety, which is delivered by Mr. Lijo Thomas, which is he is the assistant manager in EHS Danfoss Industries Private Limited. He have also certified by the leader of audit program and the advanced root cause analysis as a team leader. Uh, Okay, so Lijo sir, you can start your session.
Thanks, Pranit. Hi, good morning, friends. I hope everybody is safe at your own places during this pandemic. And thanks, Achit, for providing me such a opportunity to share my ideas, my experience regarding industry health and safety towards to you. So the topic I was given is that industry health and safety. Um, uh, First of all, I want to just nowadays your people are going through a lot of things, industry health, a lot of things, knowing about safety, health issue, COVID. But it's a very different chapter. It's I'm talking about occupational health and safety. So I just giving overview of health and safety. The field of occupational health and safety has become a topic of increasing importance from over last 30 years. The establishment of Occupational Health and Safety Administration in 1970 actually is reflected the recognition that safety in the workplace is a basic expectation for all employees. Originally, when we talk about the concerns in industries and hazards associated with like mechanical injury, the field of occupational health and safety has expanded almost every workplace nowadays. Um, Workplace from from office to airplane as well as to the laboratory. Um, Industrial accidents are caused by chemicals, mechanical, electrical, or other process failures due to accidents, negligence, or incompetence in industry plan, which may spill over to areas outside the plan, causing damage to the life and properties. Uh, when I'm talking about objective, what is the objective of industry health and safety? It's nothing. Uh, it's to provide protection. Protection means to provide protection to us. Protection to us to provide health, safe and hygienic um, condition the industry to take protection against risks and hazards. Now in my few a lot of slides there will be the word called risk and hazards will be there. First of all, I want to provide you a clear idea what means risk and what means hazard. uh, Hazard is nothing but it's something that can cause and harm, which whatever things which can cause harm is a hazard, like electricity, chemicals, working up in a ladder, keyboard, and stress also. Stress means it is stress related to work or stress related studies. These all are one type of hazards. If I give a simple definition of one more of a hazard is like if you're standing in front of a lion, uh, lion is a hazard for us. But what will what is the after effort of lion and what he is going to do us with us? It's a factor of risk now. So, what do you mean by risk? A risk is a chance, high or low, that any hazard will actually cause somebody harm. Um, for example, working alone away from your office can be a hazard. And another objective is to provide prevention of accident on machineries and occupational hazards. As you are being with the final year of students of engineering diplomas, mm, after your diploma, you going to you somewhat some of the students will going to join some industry or somewhat going to join an engineering graduate. So after all this, you're going to come into a different world now in a so-called factory, so-called industry. But these things will be coming up. Either you're coming from mechanical or you're coming from electrical background. The safety will be a concern. Safety will be a thing. You will be going through all the engineering factors from when you start up, when you joining a factory. So what are the challenges of industry health and safety in India? As you all know, India is a growing economical and world's largest democracy. Has a population exceeding 1.3 million. The occupational safety, health, and scenario in India is very complex. The growth and progress go hand with the hand with the numerous challenges. Uh, it's maybe it's fact it includes huge workforce in our unorganized sector, availability of a cheap labor, lack of existing rules and regulation of implementation of rules and regulation. One thing I want to like to tell you that our rules and regulation of India is better than most of the foreign countries. As you may be knowing that foreign countries give so much importance to the health and safety, but I had worked in the abroad. I for the 2 years I came to India. Then I'm continuing working. But one thing I can tell you, the rules and regulations which is framed in the law, it's much better than other countries. Or either it's in European country or it's in Gulf countries, it's much better. But the thing is that one of the challenges we have is that the implementation of that rules in the on field. That is the challenge we're facing. Um, and there is a lack of reliable occupational safety health data and shortage of OHS professionals like me. There's still shortage. Don't worry, you can also apply for industry safety. I'm also a background of a B electrical engineer. Now I'm my shift my line to an professional EHS. So but for any EHS, there is a safety engineering background is required. So still there is shortage of occupational professional, health and safety professionals. That is also one of the challenges in India and infrastructure problems. When we call these of challenges, the success of safety in India can be achieved by providing safety awareness to informal workers who did not have much education and experience. But this can be achieved by providing trainings, awareness programs related to safety, and requiring training in a legal skill based, technology based, and more has to be decided on skill level of the workers. As you all know that in our country, India has 170 languages, 544 delegates, and Hindi is spoken by 41 or 42% of the population overall. To overcome these language difficulties and regional I will suggest, or anybody will say, that regional language-based safety trainers should be appointed. The next issue will be the level of understanding the concept of informal workers, which can be tackled by using safety video. Nowadays, you mean going through these COVID issues. There are a lot of press conference coming from the chief minister, coming from the prime minister of India, giving a lot of safety awareness to collectors are providing a lot of safety awareness by talk, by speech, by media. But with that, they're also posting some videos. They also releasing some posters uh, and a lot of other activities, lot of ads in the media. This is only simple way that we are just providing awareness to all who does not understand. Maybe you understand the speech, but understand they will not go through. But this is the one type of awareness we are providing, like posters, slogans, um, or videos. um, Another challenge is the regular attending of classes, which can be accomplished by following strict discipline-based attendance procedures nowadays. And then coming to next slide is concept of safety. Um, how the concept of safety comes, it has all developed from a human protections. For us, it was all developed for us only. Who tomorrow going to work in any of the factory, who going to tackle a lot of machines, lot of equipments. This all comes of, for our protection, so human protection. The concept industry safety began from accident prevention. Now it has extended to hygienic occupational health and hygienic. Now it reached the level of environment protections. Three main things they are focusing is accident prevention, the concept safety, this occupational health, and environment protection. Uh, Environment protection means it includes workers, public, plant, property, land, etc. This, but this all, but this all keeps human as a center for protections from hazards. Uh, why accident? Reason for accident prevention. Simple way. On my previous slide, I said that these all factors come human. You there are there are certain responsible. Uh, when you go to a factory, when you go to an industry, there are certain responsible of a employer and employee. Employer means an owner of the factory, and employees like us going to work tomorrow in an industry. So the employees responsible is that they should protect the workers by providing good working conditions, safety equipments, and trainings. It is their moral and social duty, which also comes under the common law. Similarly, like us, the employees also has some responsible by protecting ourselves and our fellow employees by their safety duty, precautions, and safe practices. Uh, to minimize deaths and injury, pain and social suffering is a basic need for accident prevention. For any industry activity, 5 M are required for like manpower, money, material, management, and market. Uh, when we talk about economical and social, there are three agencies that suffer economical loss due to the accidents. जब भी कोई भी एक्सीडेंट थ्री मेन एजेंट्स ये होता है वो सफर होता है नॉर्मली दैट इज वर्कर एंड इज फैमिली द मैनेजमेंट एंड सोसाइटी एंड नेशन how society and nation also suffer in this. You may be having a doubt on your mind. Society is benefited by the help from the man and the goods and services and production from the man. Injury or death of a worker is not an individual loss, but indirectly, it is a loss to the society also because of man does not live in isolation. He is connected with the society and is many relation in many directions. Therefore, loss of a person is lost to the society by way of his usefulness to the society. When we talk about legal things, legal reasons for the accident preventions are due to law. There are certain laws framed by our government who works in a factory, who follow. There are some rules and regulations of the government of India. Is that is also one of the reason that safety is mandatory. Safety is important for all the employees. It is a statutory duty of occupier under the Factory Act. Factory Act means it's Quran or it's Gita or it's a Bible for any of the industry. Who all the factory works under these rules and regulations of which is mentioned under, which is framed by the Factories Act. Under the acts, it clearly mentioned to provide a safe conditions for prevention of accidents and protection of workers. Breach of law may result in a punishment. Heavy penalty and heavy penalties also government are imposement. So nowadays, even though our central government has been very strict on these things, on the occupational safety and health. They're making a lot of drafts. There lot of changes going to be happen soon within span of 1 to 2 years to make more awareness to employees and employer for the health and safety. Now, you may be getting here when we work inside the factory. Production is the main aim for any of the industry. Business chalna chahiye. This would be the main thinking of any of the employees. But here, safety increase productivity also. It should be understood. Productivity requires the productivity requires elimination of loss in form of losses of man, material, machine, manufacturing process, products, money, time, etc. These all are involved in productivity. So safety is required there also. Um, when when I s- when I'm saying that what are the 5 E's of accident prevention, there are some control measures that we can have for the accident prevention in the industries. Like we call as a safety professional, we call there are certain proactive measures to be taken when we identify any hazards or any risk in our workplace. First of all, we start with education and training. That is one of the E's yeah, to prevent unsafe act. There are a lot of uh, different type of people going to work with us. Hello. Um, there are a lot of people going to work with us. There are different types of mentality of peoples. Um, but when I was in abroad, in Dubai especially, where I used to have regular training sections with Pakistanis, Bangladeshis, lot of these peoples, and they're different. Their thinking mentality is very different, and our thinking of mentality is very different. So it was very difficult, but we can train them. We can provide them good educations and good training awareness towards safety. This has a long-term and permanent effect. This is most powerful remedy for unsafe act at workplace. It helps in finding out unsafe conditions also nowadays trainings. As if I talk in Danfoss, my industry where I am working now, we people encourage people. We encourage our employees to report more number of potential hazards आप identify करके दो हमें, we will take the corrective actions. So this is way an occupier or any factory, any of the management should encourage, motivate them to come up speak against safety. What are the issues for safety? Is we are safe at workplace or not? So this all comes by education and trainings. And second, E is engineering controls. It's to prevent unsafe conditions like poor illuminations, ventilations, unguarded machinery, mechanical, electrical, physical, chemical hazards, dangerous. So situations which can be eliminated in a design stage also. So there are a lot of brains required from our engineering team, like you being here. Um, to save our workplace, sometimes we require the help of engineering brains also. Uh, to reduce the risk of that workplace, to reduce some of the machines may having a lot of potential high risk machines. So to reduce risk factor in a certain machines, we require some engineering controls also. And third one, enforcement of safety rules. Nowadays, I think enforcement is going on. As COVID, we are we are have to wear mask. It's an enforcement rules by the government of India, that we have to maintain 1.5 meter, we have to wear mask, we have to do sanitizing regularly basics. This is enforcement rules from safety of you and for safety of others. But what safety provisions shall be provided by own safety of the others. It, sh- it should be self-intimations for the full compliance is necessary. Otherwise, government authorities may take actions. Like in a factory, there are government bodies used to have a frequent visit. There are a lot of pollution control boards. There are DISH, Director of Industry Health and Safety. There are a lot of government bodies who regularly visit in the factory. They're going to inspect. This is as per law. This is as per safety standards. These have all been inspections being done. So we are obliged to follow them rules and regulations. And nowadays we are obliged to wear safety masks. For an example, um, there are enforcement measures include new laws, company safety rules, implementations, and legal actions. So this whatever rules of safety we should follow. It's because it's for us or it's for fellow of our colleagues who is sitting beside you. And enthusiastic. It's to maintain interest. I know normally when we speak in a safety trainings to our employees, or to our subordinates or to management, or what may say to the workers people, lowest worker, they feel safety and it's very boring training. But we used to have some um, motivation. We used to have some fun with them to encourage. To because to maintain their proper safety attitude. Competitions, we encourage people to we conduct various types of competitions, prizes, awards, incentives, etc. um, to maintain the interest on among the safety. For an example setting, I think example setting means to lead for safety. Actually, nowadays you've been for example, I know nowadays you've been going through this police is being having a frequent inspection while you're riding a car or bike. They're checking masks. But recently a viral has came out of police who was not wearing masks, and the rumors has it has spread a great note in social network platform nowadays. But I would say that it should come from they should first lead as an example. That like for us, any factory, a occupier coming in the shop floor, a factory owner coming in the shop floor, hey, you did not wearing your safety equipments. So he should question us, but he should set an example also. Like he should be following the safety rules and telling others. That examples should be coming up, because I'm, for example, if I tell my organizations, we are working in a Danish-based MNC company where there are a lot of employees working. Our CEO from Denmark used to come to wear all the safety equipment. Then only he entered the factory. Whatever, whoever, what big man he is, but also he enters with all the safety equipment there. This he's setting an examples to others to follow the safety rules and regulation of the fact of the company. This is a simple way that he is setting an example that which will motivate other employees to lead safety. So when I talked of when I talk of a direct and indirect cost to an accident, you maybe knowing that there will be in business, there will be a lot. We will talk first of all about money, but in money there is a cost involved in direct indirect to an accident. Before we examine the direct indirect cost, let's make sure that we understand what is an accident, what is the truth about hidden cost of an accident. First of all, I want to provide you what mean accident is. Accident is nothing, it's an unplanned event, definite to time and place, that results in an injury or damage to a personal property. If you're doing any planned event, this will not call an accident. If you're, for an example, an accident happened at a road. A person fell down uh, fell down from bike. It was an unplanned event. But when a truck stuck on his hit on his vehicle, maybe he was elaborately, हाँ यार, movies में if you have seen this in movies that कुछ plan करके इसको अभी खत्म करना है, so that with definition is different, that is a plant that we call as a murder or somewhat other technical words, but for accident we will say that it's a totally unplanned event. What are the direct costs including this, like lost time of injured worker, damage to the equipment, tools, property, plants or material to worker or family, uh, medical or first aid costs, time and materials to clean up the accidents, fine and court costs. So see, these are all direct costs which we can get from insurance. But what is indirect cost? What is indirect cost? Lost time by other workers who stop their work while an accident happen. Which will definitely reduce our performance at the workplace. Why worker has stopped the work? This why it has stopped the work? He maybe curiosity. Maybe when your professor or when your lecturer is taking a class, if a person become not well, so all will go and see him, oh, with a curiosity or the sympathy thing. So all lecture will go into it this stuff where the production there where the productivity will be going less. So because time for for every lecture, management has fixed a salary for it, that for this much lecture you will be giving this much salary for this, but due to unavoidable circumstances, he get a salary on a free of cost because these things happen. It did not he miss his lecture. So there is a weekend moral. If any actions happen surrounding my workplace, my moral is going to be down. My moral is going to be down. Lost time of supervisors or other manager, because if any accidents, ultimately the supervisors and managers going to be with him, doing lot of investigations, things, and he will be attending the like our GSS professionals. Any actions happen, we're going to disturb very badly the supervisor managers. We want everything, what is happened, when is happened, how it has happened, what are the corrective actions we can take on these actions. These all questions we. So this is a much time consuming things where there is also cost involved. uh, Preparing actions report and attending hearings. So when any of the actions happen, I will be preparing a lot of reports, lot of actions report, lot of investigations reports. Then if it's in a major actions like fatal in the happening, there I will be attending the courts and everything. So there are other hidden costs also involved in these things. So then the the final main thing is that production leading to failure. It will going to impact the business. There will be loss of business, penalties from the customers. Similar losses will happen in near future also, that we are not able to give, we are not able to deliver on time. These all things will happen. This is going to impact the business totally. So you can understand by one accident there are how much cost is involved. Why we are telling that safety is important, why we are telling that industry safety is required. But finally all things comes under business. All things is to run a business, to support a business, HS professional. So the indirect cost of accidents is even greater than direct cost. So imagine that already told that lost of time of injured workers, these all can be taken. They can be, we can file an insurance for this, but if for indirect cost we cannot file any insurance. So it it is much higher than the direct cost, I want to. So um, I want to come to your topic, that is electrical hazards and control measures. You'll be very familiar with things in your theories. Your lecturers maybe giving you a brief idea about what is electrical hazards, what is control measures, and everything. So I also like to have some brief brief ideas. What are the electrical hazards you going to be um, face in industry while working in a factory or working in the industry? Um, Electricity is, hello, hello.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Is I'm
Continue.
audible?
Yes, yes,
Is I'm audible?
yes, yes.
Yes, sir. Okay.
Thanks. Okay. Um, so this electricity is divided into three groups. Like it is electrical shock, there are burn caused by electrical accidents, fire or explosion. So now you understood that what of things you're going to be handling when you come up with an electrical engineer. So what are the hazards you're going to be tackling these all things. So it's all dangerous things, because of a heating effort of a current. A body tissue also can get damaged by burns. For example, when a victim is in touch with a live part for a long time with alternate current, is that it often causes person considered to maintain invulnerability grip on a live object, and it prolongs the current flow. It results in reduction of oxygen supply to the brain. If brain does not get a fresh blood for more than 3 minutes, it can result in death, I think, unless a skilled attention is given immediately by artificial respiration. You may be seen in TVs or movies that any unconscious man has that CPR is given. That is only artificial respiration. So when I coming to my next slide, that is factors governing electrical hazard. There are various factors which affect the injury to a person. Experience electrical shock. These factors are amplitude of current. When current passes through human body from same route of the body, it will affect on the muscles hardest. Injury depends on time. When 50 hertz current passes through human body from left hand to both the legs to earth, passing through the human body for 1 second, it has a different effects at a different values. Duration of this also, there are 10 factors of governing electricity. I will be continuing in these slides. Uh, duration of duration of current. If the current passes for a longer time, body will absorb more energy. Injury will be also more. um, AC or DC, maybe knowing these words, AC or DC, alternate current and direct current. Injury caused by AC is more compared to caused by same value of DC. The reason is in AC current is coming to zero and again increasing. This is dangerous for heart. Condition of a body. Dry skin offer 1 lakh to 6,000 ohms resistance to current. Wet skin offers only 1,000 ohms resistance. Thus, when a body is wet, there is high danger of electrical accidents even at a fatal in nature. So, to know the current passing through body, Ohm's law is easily. I know Ohm's law. What is you may be knowing Ohm's law. That is I equal to V upon R. Sex and age of the person. Average resistance of female is 66% of that of male. Also, average resistance of a child is still less. Therefore, women and children are more prone to the danger of electrical shock. Okay. Whenever we have a small kid at our workplace, sorry, workplace, not workplace, so at home, we used to have a taking extra care that when he goes to touch some of the electric appliances or some, we used to have panic. We used to create a panic in ourselves only because of this only, as they are more prone to danger of electricity. But they should be very careful while using you, and even you should have some eyes on them, that whenever they are touching any electrical gadgets or any appliances, you should have extra precautions or care. Um, Factors, the ambient temperature and humidity. When ambient temperature is higher, there will be lots of perceptions. If humidity is higher, body will not get dried, and wet body offers very low doses. Um, the oxygen carbon dioxide is low and it condenses higher in the air breathed. Its body resistance drop down as compared to the value. So the eighth, it's a material flooring. If a person is standing on the wooden floor or some type of insulation flooring, like a rubber, insulated or mat, he is well protected. It may be noted that wooden floors should be of a dry wood. Wet floors offers only 1,000 ohm resistance, I think. Most of the mat is laid on the floor in front of rear side of LT and HT panels. It is a not only safe practice, but it's a common law also. That when you're coming up from the engineering and you're going to work with the HT and LT panels in any of the industry, there should be a standard mat as per IS standard 6173. So there should be a mat where you guys will be standing in front, where you standing and working in HT and LT panel. If electrical is working on a panel and he gets shocked, very low current will pass through his body to earth. if no other part is touching in the earth or earthen material. So this is also a beneficial um, of using mask. Sorry, mat. Uh, Position of hands and leg. This point is important as it decides the path of a current passing through the body to earth. The dangerous condition is in which current passes through the heart. If electrician is standing on the rubber insulated mat, but his other hand on the panel body will pass from one hand to heart, then the earth through other hand. This will cause very serious injury or even fatality happen. Condition of earthing. If a condition of earthing is good, protection system will immediately respond. Disconnect the factory equipment, but if earthing is not proper, the system will not give any protection in accidents. Um, there are causes of electrical accidents. Like there are many, as I showed in my screen, there are many factors um, which can cause an accident, like poor knowledge of equipments. Um, I'm, for example, I'm a B electrical engineer. This does not mean I can go in my factory and I can operate all the equipments, all the electric equipments. This does not mean there are certain things which I am not being well versed, or there are certain equipments which I'm not aware of these things. So so this does not as an electrical engineer or as a technical background, you should not touch any of the equipments when you entering in the as a fresher in the factory without knowing that equipments properly, without studying any of the equipments, without studying any of the electrical appliances. You should not touch any of the things. You should take your supervisor's guide. You should take your manager's guide on these things. There are a lot of accidents being happened due to this. Overconfidence is a major factor. Thing there are This is a major factor of an accidents happen. Overconfidence means I can see when I taking a lot of inductions trainings or things. I can see many of our employees when सर क्या है ट्रेनिंग सेफ्टी के बारे में हम तो वहाँ काम करके आई हैड वर्क इन रिलायंस आई वर्क इन अदानी आई हैड वर्क इन लॉट बिग एमएनसी कंपनीज ये तो छोटा मोटा है आई कैन हैंडल इट वेरी इजीली but my dear friend I want to highlight one point is that when an accident happens it will not ask you what is your experience, what you have studied, and what you're going to do. This when you're entering any of the industry tomorrow, when you're going to enter, your pride or your overconfidence should be kept outside at gate only, because this turns into a big hazard, big actions in many industries due to overconfidence. Taking a chance of risk, this is also one of the factor that causes electrical hazard accidents. Sometimes, I'm in a learning stage. I will take this risk. This also is one of the opportunity to have an accident. Then hurry to complete job. Yeah, there are a lot of pressure from my supervisor, my boss. Have to complete this. In this hurry, you're creating one opportunity to have an accident. Take time. Don't come under any pressure. Don't come under stress. When you deliberate nice in a proper way, that we are reducing a lot of accidents in our factory. Another there are certain cost. Poor maintenance of system also it's one of the cost of electrical accidents. I'm just on my previous slide only. There are miscommunications also happen while working. These also have a potential to cause an accidents, electric accidents. Earthing is not connected, or a poor earthing also is a reason of accidents. You maybe have have lot of knowledge about earthing nowadays. You're studying this earthing, all these things, and being get some of the examples from home also. If you're not properly earth properly in your domestic appliances, there are a lot of electrical shocks being happen. There are certain actions happen not following safety procedure also. If you come into a factory, there are a lot of safety procedure. Sometimes people try to bypass these procedures, then they turn into actions. So I like to tell you there are do's and don'ts of electrical equipments. Do's for do's for working on electric equipments. Take a valid safe work permit to work on electric equipment. First, what do you mean by safe work permit? Safe work permit is nothing. It's a risk assessment of any particular job. I know these are all very hard words for you students, but it's evaluating. It's a documentation. The safe work permit. It's a documentation evaluating the uh, assessment done before you starting any work. That is called safe work permit. There's somewhat of risk assessment where the cross-function team check certain parameters that it's we are safe to work. After this documentation only, we should work on the electrical equipment. Second is consider all the equipment as a live before touching until they are provided to them. Yes, this is uh, basic funda to be done by technicians or engineers before handling any electrical wire. They should check its live or death. And this is a basic funda. And third is be sure about isolation by physical verification. Check isolation tags on breakers and feeders. So I already made uh, this communication is one of the major cause of an accident. So to avoid these, in the industry we have a tag system, we have a lock-in system. आपने कोई भी मशीन कोई भी इलेक्ट्रिकल पैनल का ये स्विच बंद करके गया एंड टुमारो एंड another person can switch on this machine and switch on the but the person who switch on the machine, he don't know that a guy is working in a machine. A guy is working in a machine. While owning the machine, he can be there will be an accidents can be happen. So for to avoid this, there is a tag system is implemented in a lot of industry. This they used to have this tag system that this is the way of communications, that don't switch on this machine until this tag is removed, because on this indicates that there are certain work is going on in a machine. Then use proper insulated tool for working on electrical equipment. As you all use rubber mats for high voltage gears operation. I already told what is the advantage of rubber mats while you're operating in high voltage ST or LT panels. What is the advantage? I already elaborated in my previous slides. Inspection of the equipment truly before a normalization. Yes, you be done with the maintenance. You be done with the certain maintenance of equipment. Then okay, you have to go through if another inspection, and thoroughly you have to check that it is normal and we can hand over these equipments to another department. So this also you have to do while you're working on electrical equipments. Ensure the only authorized personal work on electrical equipment. As I already mentioned, that I'm an electrical engineer or you are an electrical engineer, but you're not working on a certain department, like you're not working on a maintenance department. You may be working in a production department of an electrical manufacturing unit. It does not mean that you're a background of electrical engineer, you're having a deep knowledge of electrical. This does not mean that you can operate any of the things. So in a factory, when you enter in a factory or in an industry, there are some authorized person are available to work on a certain equipment. So we have to see that also. At your home, you may be doing these things, but in an industry, it's a different world. So you have to check that who is right person to do this work, or who is the right person to inform this work. Okay. Follow site rule before starting maintenance work on electrical equipment. Switch off isolation, discharge, and other thing. This is a common rule for any maintenance work on electrical equipment. Switch off, isolate the equipments, discharge, and other thing. And identify the equipments, verify without permit for isolation before taking up the work. As already said, work permit system, it's a mandatory thing, it's a document thing. It should be isolated before, it should be taken before you starting up any of the work. Because I had gone through accidents that many of an accidents happen. The factory inspector or the police used to verify this permit. So it's one type of legal requirement also. And having a minimum numbers of cable joints insulated properly, all the cable joints. If you see if you go to construction site or in many site, there are lots of joints. एक वायर डैमेज होगा उसके ऊपर इंसुलेशन टेप मारेगा फिर 4 ने 5 there are a lot of insulation will be done in a cable joint, but avoid this. Have minimum number of joints. Yes, for cable it's, but we will not recommend that to have an insulation tape at a joint, insulation tape for a cable joint. In case more than one permit is issued on the same equipments, put separate type for separate permit on the breakers. So you energize when all the permits are clear. As I already mentioned, these work permits, start any of the work after your work permit is properly cleared. Is only start after that work. Do not depend on verbal communication for isolation of electrical equipment. Friend, really this sentence mean it. Actually, if you're working in an industry or a factory, don't go on verbal communications. Hannah, there are people may say, "Hi, by yeah, I had done this. I had isolated, but they've been in different. They've been doing. They've been being engaged, and they've forgotten. There is a lot of chance. They're not doing deliberate. जानबूझ के नहीं करते होगे, but they've been engaged in different works, and then they maybe told you that I have done isolation of electrical equipment, and after hearing their words, you start operating the machines. This is where the miscommunications happen. So do not never depend on verbal communications until you physically go and verify the equipments. Do not wear metallic ornaments while working on electrical equipments. I will never recommend that you wear metallic ornaments, or not only metallic, but not also fancy ornaments. Yeah, still in college, you may be wearing a lot of bandages, a lot of bracelets and everything. That is fine till the colleges. But when you come to the industry, avoid wearing these all fancy bracelets, metallic ornaments, because you're going to work with a lot of big machines, lot of big equipments in your factory. Do not use underrated or overrated fuse. Do not operate switch without familiarity. As I already said, that you may be not familiar with certain switches, but you try to take a chance, or you try to take a risk, and you go in a wrong direction. So do not overload the power cable without its current carrying capacity. So for all the power cable, there is a certain capacity. So we have to follow that manufacturing rules. No part of capacitor should be approached unless it is connected and efficiently discharging. And do not remove the ground connection of equipment until it has been cleared from the equipment. This is also a valid point that a lot of people who work in the panel also they keep they misplace what do forgot the equipments there all in the panel itself. This can cause another accident. So while you clearing of any certain works, you should take your equipments with what the equipments you bring with to operate any of the panels or any of the machines. Make sure that you are taking off that machines also. Then do not ground any circuit without making sure that it is actually dead. And safety belt should not be attached or insulator pins, guys, etc. So while working at height, we are wearing a safety belt. Make sure that you're not hooking this in your insulator pins or insulation things. So thanks for listening me patiently. I know there are some words I use very hard. As you maybe not involved in the industry, you're still pursuing your diplomas and engineering things. But safety, one thing I like to clear you that occupational safety health hazard is a very big chapter. There are lots of deep things are involved in this. But I just have a 1 hour's time, and I try to minimize and try to share the basic knowledge towards safety.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi. Hello, Mr. Nijam.
Hi, Ruchi sir.
Yeah. Professor, I suppose there are no questions.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yeah. So thank you, Nijam sir. Thank you very much for the webinar. It was a very informative webinar, and students will get a lot